Hey, hold on real quick. Hold on. Pause.
All right, next up, we got some NBA talk.
Okay, so it's still on
Could
sports.
be the NBA will allow the players to wear social justices,
Yeah, I
social
heard this.
justice messages on jerseys instead of names, which is pretty interesting. So, could say Black Lives
Hold
Matter,
on just a second.
I can't breathe. It could say a number of things instead.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope. First of all, I think that this should have been something that's went on, and not even just with the social justice messages and whatnot. I think that people should have always had like a personalization,
Custom.
customization of
Yeah.
jersey of whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Meta World Peace and the I don't know if any of our audience is old enough to remember like He Hate Me and shit like that from
Yeah.
the first XFL.
I mean, they're definitely pushing, the NBA has made it very clear where they stand on all of this with the support. They're even contemplating having Black Lives Matter painted on the courts when the season restarts in July. This is the funny thing to a larger degree. I don't know that anybody could have predicted this, and I think when we look back, we'll be impressed with Adam Silver and the way the NBA as a whole handled everything, but also kind of under the radar. The NBA has dictated kind of the wave of the world in a
Mm-hmm.
way.
Yeah,
The NBA was kind
they're
of
the
like the
leaders of this
trigger
shit.
to like let everybody know, hey, this shit is serious. The NBA shuts down. That was like the domino effect that all of a sudden politics start getting involved and start saying, all right, well, we need to start shutting shit down at the state level, right?
Right.
Now I feel like what's going to happen, the NBA is kind of saying, look, it's here. We have to deal with it. We have to find ways around it. We've been saying
Mm-hmm.
that for a while now. It doesn't seem like it's going to go away anytime soon. You can't really just throw a year away. You got to do
Right.
what you can to kind of maneuver around it. And the NBA is taking that same approach. Now, they were the ones in, pushing for, hey, let's get back to business. Now the NFL never said they plan on delaying the season, but they also got lucky that they didn't really
Yeah,
have
they
to
came
say
in the
anything.
sweet spot.
It's so far away. The NBA
Right.
happened like right, it happened in the middle of the season, but in a lot of ways, I feel like the NBA is kind of setting the landscape for how the whole world is moving around and how the U.S. is moving
Well,
around.
definitely the U.S.
Crazy.
And since they've been off, I mean, it's kind of obviously socially went back in the hands of the government or whatever, which is a shit show. And because it's different levels of government, state, local, fucking, and national, federal, whatever. But I mean, yeah, definitely with the NBA, they have kind of set the precedent for leading the forefront in the fight of COVID-19. The war on COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, it's great. It kind of shows the leadership in Adam Smith. I mean, not Adam Silver. I don't know who the fuck is Adam Smith. Adam
Probably
Silver
some
is
like
like
revolutionary dude.
yeah. It's like
1770.
nah, it's like my uncle or some shit like that on my grandma's side. But
Well,
nah, like
and
yeah,
not only COVID, but also with the civil rights thing, social justice.
yeah,
And, the NFL, I don't know if they ever flat out told people, hey, don't make political statements. But look at what they said with Kaepernick, whether you think he sucked or not, which, again, I'll tell you flat out, I saw his play decline every year. But I mean, it's pretty obvious he had the scarlet letter on, and people
mm-hmm.
just didn't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
touch that situation, whatever the case. And that's not fair to him. But it's interesting now looking at, the NFL, what happened with that and the NFL's culture versus the NBA, where, players like LeBron, Chris Paul, whomever, the stars in the league have been able to say whatever they want on social
Mm-hmm.
media freely without any kind of reprimand, any kind of repercussions.
Right.
And
Well,
that's kind of gotten the rest of the masses paying attention, because people watch sports, people pay attention to sports. The moment they started making politics leak into it, actually, I feel like got people paying attention to it. So if anybody's a big winner in 2020, I feel like the NBA is
Most definitely all around.
leading right now for sure.
All
Right,
around.
right next to Bad Boys 3.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Hell yeah, right next to Bad Boys 3. You know, with the differences between the NFL and the NBA, politically, I kind of chalk up to you know, the NFL is kind of it's more geared towards the flyover states. When you got the NBA, like all their teams are kind of, you know, the coastal teams, you know, the coastal city teams, like, you know, liberal coastal cities, and, you know, the flyover is like, you know, conservative or whatever. But like now, since kind of like this, you know, with the social justice movement of this year, it's kind of like, you know, more in your face. Everyone, and, you know, the NFL kind of not even being on TV this whole time. You know, everyone kind of has to fall in, like, because not only is sports like being very vocal in this shit, but all the companies on TV and shit like that. I mean, every fucking like commercial and shit like that. You know, it's like you got all this support, it seems. But at the same time, I mean, like that's all fine and dandy. But I don't know, like what really has to change, I believe, like for us to get better, it's like, so it doesn't have to be about this shit, because like it's all good that it is. But I think that, like, you know, like the shit has to be done, you know, like actually, like, because we can't just like keep talking about this shit like forever and ever, man. Like shit has to be done so we don't see these injustices anymore, so we can get off.